Hello and welcome back to Calradia Expanded. Now, we're going to do a little bit of management before we head on to the next siege. Now, there's obviously a reason for that. I don't think I have enough units in my allies' armies. That's basically the only thing that I really want to do here. So basically that means going back and picking out some units and hopefully getting a decent number of them. As you can see, we actually have a lot of thrown weapon guys as well, so I'm going to see if I can maybe get a couple of those too. Now, here's the thing. We have a bit of a situation. Oh, no, okay, apparently we don't have that situation anymore. There was a siege going on at Poros, but that apparently has been thwarted almost immediately by Idrin's army. Apparently Idrin was in the area. I had no idea, to be honest, that they were around there, but okay, apparently I don't need to worry about that. So now we just have to place our units back in here. Obviously I'm going to try and give as many really good ones as I can, and then we are going to do the same to our other guy. I'm actually not entirely sure if he even has any space. Ah, he does. Okay, fantastic. There we go. That's going to be a good amount, and a little bit more. There we go. All right. So that is all that we wanted to do right here. So now, here's the thing. We've made peace with the Aserai, as you would expect them to do. And I don't... No, they weren't even... Look at that! They weren't even able to take Drovero's castle. Wow, that's actually kind of hilarious, in my opinion. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, so basically what I've been trying to do, and failing at so far, is I've been trying to go to each of these little towns here, and I've been trying to sell everything in my inventory, basically. So I've been trying to sell all my armor, I've been trying to sell most of my weapons. I've just generally been trying to get rid of a lot of the junk that I have in my inventory right now. And I'm going to continue to try and do that right now, but you don't have to watch that. And there we have it. Alright, so basically I have gotten rid of all of my armor. As you can see right here, I have no armor left, and I also, well, unfortunately do not have enough cash spare in each of these towns to be able to get rid of all of my weapons. But you can see here just how much cash I am lugging around. It's actually kind of frightening, but I basically thought to myself, okay, it's about time that I do something like this, considering my wages are skyrocketing in a pretty harsh manner at the moment. I thought to myself, okay, we should probably do that just to get a little bit more of a buffer, because in the grand scheme of things, I don't want to be deep in enemy territory and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm having issues with paying my men, you know, paying my army. That's not good, right? That's not good. So that's generally the reason why I did that. Anyway, we're going to go on to, where is this now? Vostrum, yes, there we go. We are going to go on to Vostrum and probably Mantola as well. I believe I just received word just before cutting back here that the enemy army that was attempting to besiege Poros, that has been defeated by, I'm not entirely sure if it was Idrin's army. Yes, it seems it was Idrin's army indeed, and they were able to eliminate them, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, apart from that, I haven't seen any extremely strong armies. Oh, hello, Vostrum. Aha. Well, this is not exactly great. Let me just, what am I going to do here, actually? Should I do the old strategy? Should I do the classic strategy that I used to do almost all the time? Maybe I should do that. Trade penalty for mounts reduced by 20%. Sounds good to me. That is a steward skill. Interesting. Okay. Well, whatever the case, the thing I'm talking about right now, obviously, is the fact that we do this. We go into create a siege, we build a trebuchet, we build a whole bunch of trebuchets actually, and then we just remove each one as it gets built. And that basically preserves their HP until we have more of them available. This is what I used to do in every single series, and I just stopped doing it because, well, there was no point, because obviously if I were going to use the, siege ladders strategy where we were to just, blitz in there and do as much damage as possible in such a short span of time, then obviously that would be making the trebuchets almost negligible. Oh, hello there. Right. Yeah, now this is exactly why I don't really like this strategy. I mean, I'm not actually saying that it's bad, because I think this strategy is extremely effective, but it's bad for this reason. Yeah. It's bad for this reason, because you can very easily be interrupted by a very large army, and then you're going to have some issues. Alright, let me see. Lance of Destiny, you're up. Thank you. And I'm gonna see if I can, you're running away from me. Are you serious? Is it? No! No. Don't defeat my friends. Yes, I will help you. Okay, technically I could just literally auto-resolve this. I think I will just auto-resolve it. Yeah, look at that. That is an extremely negligible amount of units that we're losing right there. Really not to worry about that at all. And we have now taken most of them prisoner, which is actually fantastic. Now, the one thing that I really wanted to do was actually utilize Idrin's numbers and buffer ourselves against the overwhelming numbers of Sarandon's army, but unfortunately that doesn't seem to be happening. You know what? I'm gonna take a bit of a, maybe a bit of a guess here. Oh, are they actually going in? They are. Okay, now that's interesting. I was not anticipating that one bit. I thought to myself, I'm going to go over to Mantola here, because you can quite clearly see that the garrison there is much less, much fewer, many fewer units that we're going to have to deal with instead of attacking Vostrum. But it seems like we won't be able to do that either, because these guys want to actually go in against Idrin's army, and we will not allow them to prey upon one of our friends. Thank you very much. So let's see what we can do. It's a nighttime battle, and we have an overwhelming combat strength right here. But obviously that doesn't mean much, because at the moment, and this is not actually taking into account the total combat strength. You have to bear that in mind. This is not the total combat strength that we have, you know, overall. Basically, this is just the combat strength that is on the battlefield at the moment. That's it. That is all that it is displaying right now. And this will change and adapt as time goes on with, you know, casualties being taken on both sides and so on and so forth. Now, can you notice something really hilarious here as well? Look at this. Look at this. I literally just have 2 different sets of troops, and that's it. Isn't that hilariously one-sided? Or should we say two-sided? Haha, yes. But, yeah, that's kind of interesting to me. I would not have expected myself to literally just have infantry and archers, but I suppose that's what happens when you tend not to recruit, or in general not to be in a situation where you're going to be able to replenish your cavalry numbers. And that's the thing. You can get cavalry from improved garrisons. You can get cavalry from the mod. It is just, I think it's very dependent on horse availability. And most of the time, horses are not that easy to come by unless you go to a very specific area. Like Ascar, for example. You're going to have more units there being cavalry than anything else most of the time. Of course, there's still going to be an overabundance of infantry and archers and everything, but there will be some cavalry down there. And there's also a whole bunch of cavalry in Vlandian territory and Sturgian territory even more so. Amusingly enough, I'm not entirely sure why the Sturgians favor cavalry so heavily, but apparently they do. Anyway, point is, these guys literally have nothing against us. You can see that right here. They have mostly, well, recruits. They've just got like a bunch of these recruits and everything, and they cannot possibly do battle against us. I'm going to see if I can maybe shoot this guy. That was a headshot as well. How embarrassing for him. Oh no. I should really send him a get well card, right? Shall we say a get well message by pigeon, if they even do that here. Do they use pigeons at this time? I'm not entirely sure, but generally we should send him a get well message of some kind. Maybe something written in his ally's blood or something, if we want to be a bit morbid. But no, let's not let's not insult him any more than we already have by eliminating him in such an egregious manner. I mean, literally, he thought to himself, oh yes, I will run away in a straight line. My enemy is bound to not have any ranged capability. Maybe he was just overconfident, you know? Maybe he was just doing a me. you know, because generally I do tend to get overconfident, like now, for example, and that is when, oh yeah, that's when bad things happen. That is when I literally end up killing myself just through sheer ineptitude and hilarity. So hopefully that's not going to happen this time around, and I'll just be able to continue doing some pretty considerable damage. But yeah, that's that was very amusing to me. I don't know why he decided to run away in a straight line, to be honest. Oh, nice. There we go. Not too bad, I gotta say. I actually feel like I've gotten a little bit better at using the polearm. Sometimes, okay, here's the thing. Some days, I'm pretty decent. You know, not too bad, not too bad. And other days, I am not good at all. And we just, you know, we selectively forget those days, eh? That's the way to go. That is the way to go. Because then you're always going to think to yourself, oh yes, I did an okay job that time. So your confidence level remains at a decent stage, I guess. Oh no, we're losing a bunch of people. Actually, oh yeah, that is actually one of ours. That's not particularly good, but I've never heard of her before, the one that actually fell right there. We're getting a lot of lords fall in this battle, which is worrying me slightly, because I really do not want to be in a situation where they die, and then, oh yes, the inevitable happens where we literally have a game crash. And I hope that will not happen this time. But I guess we'll see. Anyway, I'm just going to go for a nice little auto-delegate here, because no doubt my forces do want to charge in, and we want to make sure that they are being the most efficient that they can be. I've got to be careful here. Oh no, look at that. We lost one of our companions. We lost one of our companions. That is really bad. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do about that now. We are relatively far away from any tavern, so I'm thinking that we're going to have some issues getting into another army. So, for example, getting a companion into another army and then donating the spare units to that guy, or girl in this case, potentially, you know. That might be a bit problematic. It really depends on the availability of these companions in the tavern. I know that someone actually did mention that maybe it would be a good idea for me to get remarried, but see, now here's the thing. I think it's a good idea, don't get me wrong. I think it's a good idea, definitely, for sure, because it makes a whole deal of sense. I mean, you know, you're getting an extremely powerful combat unit most of the time, if you choose your spouse wisely. And then you kind of, that's the thing, you put in so much effort, right? You put in a lot of effort, and the persuasion attempt might not even work. You know, there's that as well. You know, you've got to be a bit careful about that sort of thing. So the persuasion attempt might not even work to get you through to the conversation. And then when you get through to the conversation stage, which is obviously 2 stages of, you know, visiting the person, you know, once and then a few days after that, it still may not work, you see? And that's the reason why I generally tend to do it once, maybe get a couple of heirs here and there, get a couple of children, and then that's it. Because I just don't think they're going to survive for that long, you know? That's the main point here, because I'm thinking to myself, what if the worst were to happen? The worst were to happen and I were to literally remarry, and then all of a sudden, boom, as soon as I've married the person, they're just going to be like, I will now go floppy and I will die. And that has happened. That has happened in a previous series as well. And because we obviously have a much greater chance of allies and enemies dying, it's giving me a bit of food for thought, because if they are one of the last remaining members of their clan or something like that, then it's going to be even worse, as far as I can tell. Because if I bring them over to me, then their clan will be eliminated, and then it will crash the game. Or at least I hope that will not be the case. I'm actually not entirely sure about that, so don't quote me on it. But that's the kind of thing that we have to be a bit worried about. So generally that's why I'm tending to stick with companions, even though the companions are obviously not as good as, you know, Sylvan, for example. Sylvan was obviously our wife in this campaign, and she's a fantastic combat character. She's got an amazing amount of steward skill, She's got great leadership. She's just generally an absolute beast. She's very, very good. But unfortunately, they die way too easily. Even without the mod that I have installed, even without Heroes Must Die, these units just die. They just end up dying through nothing, basically. They just die from random stuff. And it can really make a huge difference to the overall strength of a faction or the overall strength of your clan as a whole and so on. So that's generally the reason why I tend to be a little bit more temporary when it comes to, you know, actually recruiting these people. But there you go. Anyway, we did look at this. Look at how many people actually died right here. Oh, this is really bad. Okay, hopefully there aren't going to be any clans being eliminated. Cross fingers. It seems okay so far. Yeah, it seems okay so far. But now we've got to be a little bit careful about the war exhaustion. I would like to be able to very quickly run to the nearest, well, town, I guess, and see if I can... it's going to be highly unlikely, isn't it? See if I can besiege it. That's the one thing that I would like to do. Even if I don't get any siege... Oh, no. Merca was killed? Are you serious? He was also killed? And the game's just auto-saved? No! Okay, that's going to be really bad. If it crashes right now, as soon as I unpause, then we're going to have some issues. Actually, just before I do that, I'm just going to give this guy a couple of extra units, because I did pick up a whole bunch. I can't take anymore. I can't take anymore. Okay, yeah. I guess that's how it's going to be. Oh, no crash. No crash. Okay, that's fantastic. But, oh, I'm going to have to... Wait a minute. Where are my units, actually? Is this... No, this is Idrin's army. Because there are 2 people from there, right? Wait a minute. There's 2 people here. Oh, no! Are you serious? Look at this. There are 2 parties here, but I can't select the other one because they're running exactly... Ah, there we go. Found them. Oh, no, I didn't. Byron's army. Nope, that is not working. That is not working as intended. That is grinding my gears like no one's business right now. Oh, well, never mind, never mind. Okay, we'll just let them go because they're going to go and garrison a castle nearby, so I guess that makes a little bit of a consolation prize, I suppose, but... Yes, anyway, we have a very, very limited amount of time remaining before the war exhaustion kicks in. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to rush like no one's business, and we will have to build a siege camp very, very fast. I'm pretty low in terms of my HP, but I'm going to have to go for it. Ah. Okay. Well... there you go. That's not going to happen. Okay, I will ransom all my prisoners while I have the ability to do so. Let's go into the tavern here. Oh, there are a whole bunch of people that we could potentially ask to join us here as well, which I suppose is decent. I think that's okay to have now, but it would have been really nice to be able to take this beforehand. Oh well. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. So, now that we have another person that can join us, I'm going to... Yeah, Bertil's party. Yeah, they're disbanding, as you can see right there. I could not see them. Yeah, you saw that, right? Yeah, you saw that. I could not click on them for the life of me for some reason. They were just standing on top of one other person, and it was just extremely difficult to get that working. So, yeah, kind of unfortunate. Anyway, let's give this guy as many units as we can fit into his army. And that should be around about good. Yeah, I think that's pretty decent. And now let's get him to join our army as well. So nearby, this guy. There we go. All right, so he's gonna just join us straight up. Is this guy actually? Wait a minute. There he is. Ah, there they are. Okay, phew. We actually got them. Fantastic. So we were actually able to catch up to them, or they caught up to us, technically. So that's really nice. So we didn't actually waste any of those units. I actually thought they were going in the other direction, but they apparently weren't. That's great. Okay, fantastic. The Vaegirs have formed an alliance with the Palatians? That's very strange. That doesn't really bode well for us whatsoever, does it? No. Not looking forward to that. Okay, so the Western Empire, we have a 100% chance to attack them. Everyone else... Oh, the Nordlings are looking good, the Vaegirs are looking good, but now that they've formed an alliance with the Palatians, it means going to war against them. And as you can quite clearly tell, the Lyrians are also looking very dangerous, the Palatians are looking dangerous, and everyone else is not so much. So I'm thinking we're probably going to attack the Western Empire, or at least I'm going to wait and see whether... Wait a minute, how many people here? 273? Really? That's it? That's... Oh, yeah, look, the Palatians are... Ooh, they are so sneaky. Oh, I really do not like them one bit. They are being so incredibly sneaky. Do you see that? They literally took Jalmaris because obviously I took Jalmaris in a previous episode, and then it was taken back relatively quickly by a massive army, mind you. And then I took it back, I think this was the course of events, and then I traded it away because I thought to myself, well, the garrison there is not too large, so I should be able to then capture it back again, but then peace was made due to war exhaustion and so on and so forth, and then everything just kind of fell to pieces, as it does, you know, as it does. And yeah, so we kind of had a couple of problems there, but now the Palatians, they have just swooped in and captured the thing that we really did not want them to capture. That is extremely irritating, isn't it? We need to make them pay. We really do. But unfortunately, I don't have the ability to do that just yet. Just going to get a couple of extra people, because I would like to give my other friend here... oh, wait a minute. No, he already has decent units, doesn't he? Yeah, he already has like a whole bunch. So me taking these is basically pointless. Okay, my bad. My bad. Okay, let's just put them back in here. There we go. No harm done. And now, do we want to try and take Amitatys? That's the thing. I was attempting to take Amitatys in a previous episode, and it didn't go too well because there was a very large army nearby, and they saw fit to interrupt us after we had taken significant damage from the siege at Jalmaris. So obviously that's a big problem, because if that army or a similar army turns up, then of course we're going to have some problems there. Let's have a look. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm talking about. 775 units. This is very, very tricky. On the one hand, I feel like we could easily take this because the Western Empire, I don't know whether you can notice that already, but the Western Empire are at war against the Dryatican Republic. And the Dryaticans, they have a decent amount of combat strength. So if we were to gang up on the Western Empire, they're actually at war against a number of people. Yeah, they're at war against the Vaegirs, the Royalist Vlandians, and the Palatians. So I guess we will declare war against them, and we'll see what happens. Generally, I think this is going to be the end of the Western Empire. They just have way too many enemies to be able to adapt on schedule. And I'm going to try and take Amitatys as fast as possible. Hopefully there's not going to be any army nearby. If there is, then that is just going to be my bad luck. But it doesn't seem like it. I'm thinking I should probably head in here straight away. Should I? I mean, we took a look at the composition, right? I mean, you can see the composition right here. You can see that they do have some high tier units, but nothing that dramatic. So we should be able to go in there without too many difficulties. Just going to upgrade the troops, make sure that we're ready for this, and then let's lead the assault. This is going to be a little bit dicey, I think. Might be a relatively similar situation after the siege. We might be able to accomplish this, but it might cost us a great deal in terms of our offensive pushing power. So after this, it's going to be a case of me backing off, getting some more units, and then coming back at a later time. Or at least I hope that will not be the case. I mean, you can see here that the combat strength right now is in our favor. But as I've said, that is basically only determined by the amount of units on the battlefield at the moment, rather than the total amount of units available for the fight. Okay, yeah, this is... they're being very wily, aren't they? They're being very wily indeed. They're making sure to be defending the right positions. I want to kill that guy that's on the ballista, if at all possible. Nice. There we go. Ooh, bunch of people right here. Yeah, it should be okay. It should be okay if they keep moving on by. We should be all right. Oh, really? You chambered me? Are you serious? Come on. Really? This militia unit was able to chamber me? I mean, I guess that is to be expected. You know, it is just to be expected. These guys have that habit, don't they? They have the habit of being extremely proficient in melee combat when you least expect them to be. It could have just been luck as well, of course. Ooh, now I'm getting a bit antsy right here. I'm getting a bit antsy because on the one hand, I feel like I should be doing quite well here. I mean, you've seen the action so far, and I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be enough. You know what I mean? Like, I think, yeah, sure, we'll probably achieve victory at this point because we are quite clearly dominating the battlefield, but look at what is happening. I've told them to charge, haven't I? Look at this guy. He's literally stuck. Are you serious right now? Yeah, this is exactly why sometimes it is a good idea to maybe spend a little bit of extra time on the campaign map just to get a couple of the walls down or something like that. Like, even if a handful more of these units would just venture up, up those ladders and get onto the battlements and everything, that would be so useful. But look at them. Look at what they're doing right now. Look at them. They're being absolutely useless right now. And it is killing my soul. It really is. It hurts your soul to see that, doesn't it? As a Mountain Blade player, you just think to yourself, wow, they could not be more useless right now, could they? So sad. So sad. And they're literally allowing a bunch of units in a trickle. So it's literally a case of, oh yes, we're always outnumbered. Yes, oh, how wonderful. Yes, that's exactly what we want. We always want to be outnumbered, don't we? Yeah, that seems to always be the case for some reason. But yeah, look at this. Yeah, well. It makes no use to complain about it, I suppose, but generally, just look at this guy. He's on the ladder and he's not moving. Look at this guy. You see that guy right there? I'm going to shoot him in the face in a second. I'm literally going to shoot him in the face just because he's doing such a disservice to the rest of the people that might actually want to get up here and help out. I'm going to shoot him. Where is he? There he is. Oh, are you... Oh, okay, the wall disappears when you zoom in. Watch this, see? Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that's wonderful, isn't it? That is absolutely wonderful. Get back here. Okay, never mind. You can run if you want. Okay, you know what? Can I jump? Can I jump here? This is a problematic situation. Okay, that's the thing. I can't really pick up the fork. If I pick up the fork, I think I'm gonna lose my weapon. I think that's what how it goes. But yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about with the Bannerlord AI. Sometimes, I just think, why is it like that? Why is it like that? I really would like that fellow to help us out. There we are. There we go. Killed that guy. Thank you very much. Okay, so now, let's take a look. Are you going to come up here? Uh-huh. There. Yes. Yeah. Look. Now he's coming up. Okay, fantastic. Now one is coming up. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be more of them, but obviously that's kind of the idea. You know. We're inspiring them. Yes. I can see. I know what you're going to say. I know. I'm being rather tyrannical, but still, you know, it's an AI issue. It's an AI issue, you know. It's not a matter of, you know, me doing that or not. It's just generally them getting stuck. And I need to give them a little bit of incentive to not be stuck. At least that's the that's the idea. All right. Are they Oh, yeah, they've gotten stuck again. Oh well, never mind. Okay, I guess we'll just have to deal with it. We'll just have to leave it the way it is, and if that remains the case, then obviously we'll just have to leave it for the moment. I'm gonna zoom things up a little bit here, so that we can see what actually happens. Maybe I'm gonna need to continue assisting, but look at all the green that is currently zooming by right now. That's absolutely fantastic. That's the kind of thing we want to see every single time we do one of these. And it seems like that should be fine. Yes, there we go. The combat strength is now dwindling for the opponent. And that should be that. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. Alright, so we ended up losing 73 units, but here's the thing. What do you bet we would have lost if we just had slightly more people coming into the keep at the same time? Because then we're not going to have 1 or 2 or even 5 or even 10 units trickling in ever so slowly. We're going to have many more than that working together as a cohesive unit to defeat the opponent. And obviously that didn't happen. I mean, we defeated them, of course, but we didn't have so many people going in there and actually helping each other out. So it really made things much more difficult than it had to be. And that kind of makes me wonder, is it artificial difficulty? Is that what's happening right now? Is the game just giving me more artificial difficulty than is intended? Or maybe it is intended, who knows? But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I would like to see fixed if it is indeed an issue, because obviously these guys just standing on the ladders, not moving. I mean, I guess that's, I don't know, I guess it's up to interpretation. I mean, there's no logical reason why that would happen, right? I mean, is that just me? Maybe it's just me. Anyway, there are a number of fiefs in the north here that the Western Empire have control over, which is definitely going to be a bit of a problem. But my main goal at the moment is basically just to consolidate these little territories right here. So all of these castles, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 castles, they actually have a pretty significant amount. And then they have 1 town down here, but that's obviously not really my problem. I basically just wanted to take Amitatys and then spread out from there. So I'll probably take this castle and this castle, this castle and this castle in my immediate vicinity, and that's going to consolidate our territory in a really nice little circle area right there. And that's going to make a pretty big difference to caravan safety, trades, and so on. Once we get into peacetime, that is. And, of course, we're going to see if anyone else decides to declare war against us. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.